We introing it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Beers and Breakdowns. Thanks for joining us on this one. I know that this probably wasn't the first thing you wanted to click on based on the movie title. But when I saw it on Amazon, I was like, Dirty Angels. I was like, Spec Ops, here we go, boys. We have to review this movie. If anything else, to save you from having to pay money to watch this, which likely you guys probably wouldn't, but just in case you get curious, let's just squash all that now and watch this movie for you and react to some of the tactics in the movie. And before you guys go and say, it's just a movie, guys, we understand that, but that doesn't mean that Hollywood gets a pass for making stupid movies or making stupid tactical decisions. You know, there's like tons of ex-Delta guys, SEAL Team 6 guys, CAG, CAG Delta, same thing, Green Berets, Rangers. There's all kinds of special operations guys that aren't on social media, but are in Hollywood and available to Hollywood to advise on all these movies. So there's plenty of tactical advisors out there, but if you don't ask them, they ain't gonna help you. And a lot of these people clearly do not ask. And this movie is the prime example of not asking anybody. Like, if you asked an infantryman, he would have been able to fix 99% of this movie. And they didn't ask anybody. If you asked an army cook, they would have been able to fix 95% of this movie. Just
That's
be like,
the guy just sitting in the recruiter's office.
Right.
Dude, fix it.
If you ask S1, like what their opinion was, they'd be like, hey, this uniform doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So just literally find anyone that was in the military and ask them, and they will tell you that this is straight up poopy duke.
What's S1?
That's the they do all the paperwork, the admin stuff.
Oh, okay.
So they're like,
but they've gone through basic too.
Yeah, they've gone through basic, and they're soldiers, but their job is,
not signing your paperwork when you need it signed.
Yeah, like waiting till the last minute to sign your
being open for a half hour
paper
a day every other Thursday, only 2 months out of the year.
Damn, Abel's got you guys on lock, dude.
I'm just repeating what you guys have told me over the years.
Yeah, but S1 is just, that's their job. So it's just a regular MOS, but you pick any regular MOS that's not infantry or special operations, and they would be able to easily fix this just as much as infantry and special operations, which I group infantry in with special operations, FYI. So if I ever say anything that makes it sound like I'm separating the two, I apologize in advance. I very much consider infantrymen part of the special operations community.
Sean's wearing Crocs.
I am.
I just wanted to note that. They're not even in sport mode. I don't even know what we're doing. It's
Just shut up, dude.
If we had to do something tactical right now, those would fall right off your feet.
No, they wouldn't.
The band
because I
isn't
would
even
put
on
them
the
in
outside.
four-wheel drive, and then I would be ready to run, dude.
I know, but
Look
they're not
at
right
this.
now.
I'm ready to fight. Look at it. I got the thing on. Anyway, let's get into the show. We've made this way long intro. I talk way too much. I'm so tired of reading the comments and be like, this guy never shuts up. Ooh.
And the rest of those are clearly made of rubber.
Oh my gosh, you're dead, dude. All right, pause it.
All right.
Bro, you're dead.
I gotta admit, I have to do an immediate call out before you get onto yours, because this really bothers me with movies, and that's the wardrobe. There's no reason for that man to be that clean. There's no reason for all of them to be that clean. It looks like you just bought that clothes and put them on these guys. It's the same thing with that one Hyena Road, where it looked like a damn nativity scene.
Yeah.
The beard doesn't look right. It's all bad, and it's too clean.
It's instantly you just get cheeseball. But that, dude, if you get hit with a boulder that big in your head, like, you got some serious sense knocked out of you. And then you got 35 more of those rocks hit you, like 5 more in the face, and she just gets up and she's fine. What are you thinking? Bro, if I throw my brother threw a rock at me this big when I was a kid, and I was running away, and it was a dirt clod, and he didn't know that there was a rock in the middle, and he hucked it, hit me in the back of the head, and knocked me stupid, dude. I went to the ground. I was bleeding all over the place, and I was doing one of those things when you run in place on your side, and I was just doing a circle in the middle of the street until some random citizen stopped his car and was like, oh my God, picked me up and drove me home and was like, you need to go to the hospital. And that was from one dirt clod with a rock in it.
Wow.
And he just got hit with like 75 boulders.
It was a girl, right?
Yeah, she did.
They beamed her.
They what?
They beamed her.
Beaned?
Beamed. You never use that terminology?
No.
Like back when I was a kid, like comment down below if you guys used to say that. My cousins used to be like, "Oh, fucking bean him." Like bean him is like just throw something at somebody. But like typically it's going to be like small rock, something like that, and you throw it as hard as you can on like an acute point, like a focal point, like his
Really?
arm or
Bean
something.
him?
Yeah, like bean him.
Well,
I'm Mexican. I can say that just in case this is a racist comment. But we used to say that when we were kids.
dude, she got lit up. She'd be dead. But don't worry, it gets way better because after that, you're going to see the next scene and tell me you guys. Matter of fact, we'll watch the scene and then we'll pause for a minute and you guys could light up the comments on everything that's wrong. See if you could name all the things that are wrong and see the biggest points. All right, let's watch it. Hit the comments before I say anything and tell me what's wrong. That was so cheeseball, dude. And so the worst part about that is the guys that came to save her were essentially a direct action hostage rescue team. So they're a CAG, a SEAL Team 6, ground branch team that was sent in to to recover her. But if you look at their uniforms, they're third ID. They're an infantry unit with like ranger tabs, and then she's got third ID on her arm with a ranger tab over it. So she's like her own branch of service. Like that's not even a real thing at all. So they sent third ID in to do a hostage rescue mission. Like no offense to third ID infantry guys, but you guys aren't doing Halo infill hostage rescue. I promise you. They don't wear ops cores. The gear was all wrong too. So they put them in ops cores. It's the only special operations thing they had about them was the fact that they're wearing these brand new ops cores. Their uniforms are all brand new. Their uniforms don't make any sense. They're just like regular, everybody wears uniform to garrison. It's not a deployment uniform for special operations at all. They don't have any special operations gear on them. Nothing about it is right. Their weapons are wrong. Everything is wrong. And their patches. Like I could forgive the weapons being wrong. I could forgive the uniforms being just regular normal uniforms, like fine. But why would you throw a third ID patch on and then make them a tier 1 operator? Nobody told you that. You didn't ask one military guy if this makes sense. Not one.
I guess not. At least Wardrobe didn't.
What the heck, dude? You could have asked anybody that was in the military that was walking by. You could have found a veteran on the side of the street that says, "I'm a veteran, please give me money."
Yeah.
And be like, "I'll give you $5 to watch this and tell me what you think." And he'd be like, "That doesn't make any sense."
Yeah.
Anybody could have fixed this.
Yeah, I think obviously the main thing that I said last time again is the cleanliness of the uniforms. Doesn't make any sense. It jumps out at you immediately. It's like you think, oh, it's fast action. Nobody's going to notice. You notice when these uniforms are brand spanking new. They're not distressed at all. They haven't gone through any process. You could stonewash them. You can do all kinds of stuff to wear them a little bit to make it look like the people using them who are there to do something that takes a lot of military experience to do have worn clothes. But they don't do that. And it jumps out. The colors are way too vivid. It's just so easy to tell. And obviously, they didn't ask anybody like about the patches. They didn't ask one person anything about how that should actually be, and which makes sense, seeing as how they didn't even like ask anyone if these look too clean, how they should look, how does it look in the field when you have people out there actually conducting these missions. So here's my theory, and guys, hopefully Abel will timestamp this for you so you don't have to sit down through the whole thing if you're not a fan of the show. But this is my theory. My theory is somebody reached out to this director and was like, "Hey, we need you to direct this movie. Here's the script." And he read the script and was like, "This is trash. I'm not making this." And they're like, "We'll give you millions of dollars." Because it was some like wealthy guy that wants a movie made. And he's like, "Okay, fine, I'll make it." And then so all his friends are like, "You're going to make that?" And he's like, "Well, I'll make it, but then I have to tell everybody without telling them that it's really something I don't care about." Yeah.
So how do I do that? What if I call it Dirty Angels? Then everyone will know that it's a joke and to not take it seriously. Because this whole thing just feels like a total cash grab.
Yeah.
It can't be real.
Did you do any research on this movie at all?
No.
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 People were about to tell us.
Things some people think you should have been prosecuted for, extenuating circumstances or not.
Yes, sir.
But are you willing for all that to come out again and risk prison yourself?
I'm willing to take responsibility for my actions. He should as well.
Fine. Mia, I'm gonna wait until Monday. Because I'm not in the mood to ruin my weekend. We can go back on the record.
The session is adjourned at
All right, pause this. So, again, there's so much wrong with this. So she's essentially like snitching on the pilot, saying that he should be charged with cowardice because he left those people down there.
Right.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, any pilot would leave. You're being shot at. You're being shot at with RPGs. One of your helicopters was shot down right next to you. Nobody's going to stay. No pilot's going to stay. You're going to have to pull off. And real operators know that you're going to have to fight your way out of that and get to a safer position to get picked up. Even 160th is going to be like, hey, guys, you got to meet us halfway at least. Like, find a little bit better than us just getting shot down, because there's no sense in everyone dying.
Right.
So this is just a completely ridiculous thing to even have set up, that she's calling him out for cowardice. It's this whole like thing that Hollywood continues to do, where they just want to put women in these like, I'm brave, I'm too tough, I'm the best, I'm more moral high ground than anyone else roles.
Yeah.
It's like, why do we keep doing this? And then second, we have this Marine full bird colonel with no haircut and an unshaved face. I don't know if you know this about Marines, but they always have haircuts and they always have their face shaved. I'm pretty sure until the day that they die.
Yeah.
Like, those dudes, once they sign up for the Marines, they get haircuts once a week and shave their faces every day for the rest of their lives. Like, that's their code.
Right.
Like, you'll probably never catch a Marine without a high and tight and a shaved face. They won't do it. So the fact that this Marine lieutenant colonel is going to this court-martial with a scruff on his face and long hair, it's just like nothing is right. It's like, everything about this is so bad that I don't understand it.
It also seems like they don't really have a DP, a director of photography, that's on set. And if they do, it's one that doesn't really care. So this is supposed to be somewhat of a serious scene, right? Something important is happening right now. So this should be a little more dramatic than it actually is. If you see her face, it's completely lit up from both sides, right? Meaning there's no fall light. So one of the biggest things that gives you a sense of drama, that something's happening, that you should be paying attention to in a serious fashion, is you're going to have a really dark side that they're shooting from. The other side is going to be lit up. There is none of that in this scene. If you look at this, it looks like they lit it up as much as humanly possible and stuck 3 cameras in there. Nobody in their right mind filming a scene like this would ever do that. You would make sure that there's some sense of drama. You want the audience to understand something dramatic is happening. She's clearly saying that somebody should be reprimanded for something. He's being mean. He's not being very nice about things. There's a mood that's supposed to be going on here, and it's not filmed that way at all. If they have it as lit up as humanly possible, they're not using motivated lighting that's coming out of the windows. It's just all wrong. It's just, again, it's like you said, it seems like they just really don't care.
They don't care about this.
They hit record,
Yeah.
and they were like, did we get it? Cool. And then they walked off, because none of this is set up the way most people would do this.
But you know what? All this negativity so far, let's talk about something positive.
Okay.
Guys, can we take a chance to talk about the one and only sponsor that we have on this channel, Barbell Apparel? We love them. The guys are over there are awesome. Kyle's the man, and we work with him exclusively. He's literally the only sponsor we have, and that's because they are so good. And part of what makes them so good is the fact that we could destroy these clothes, send them back, and get replacements. So I don't want to bore you with selling you on anything. I just want you guys to be aware of the fact that we love Barbell Apparel, and I constantly destroy these clothes, and I have a pile of clothes ready to go back to Kyle. And I'm just going to say replace them all, because I keep ripping holes in them, because I work on my car in them. I've gained 20 pounds because I've been eating like crazy and lifting like crazy. So all of these clothes, I'm just sending back and getting replaced. They have a lifetime guarantee. So, guys, we don't sell you things and we don't tell you to buy things that we don't personally vet like crazy. And if you ever have any issues, you need to tell us, because we stand by them 100% and we want to know if you have any issues and you're not super happy with them. So trust us. Send anything back that you don't like. They'll replace it all. Lifetime guarantee. Nobody's doing that. So go check out Barbell Apparel. We've been loving working with them so far. So thank you guys. We love you guys. Appreciate you. Let's get back to the movie.
You tap out, bitch!
Is that voiced over?
Yeah, it was. What, dude?
Wait, so after she essentially commits murder, she just puts a towel on her face?
What? So you lose the fight and out of rage you knee him in the face so hard that it knocks him out cold? That's okay? Why is that okay? What if the roles were reversed and a guy got tapped out by a woman and he was so upset by being tapped out by a woman he kneed her in the face post tap out to knock her out unconscious? Everyone would be like, that's absurd. Mm-hmm. But now we're supposed to be like, it's okay for a woman to do that? That's insane. Like, what's wrong with Hollywood? I don't understand what's going on right now. Like, first of all, you know why? Hollywood, listen. You know why no one wants a woman superhero and a woman SF leader, like, leading the way and in charge? Because they don't freaking exist. We want realism. That's what we want. So if 99.9% of the special operations community is men, I'm sorry, you can't shove a woman down our throats. If they're not out there doing the damn thing, mm-hmm. we don't want to watch them in movies because you want us to watch them. So stop. Just make it real. If women aren't doing it, then I'm sorry. But until women start doing it in real life, they're not going to freaking sell us in movies. It's so annoying. The agendas, shoving the agendas down our throat is just so obnoxious. And no matter how many times the movie fails miserably, somehow somebody makes another one.
Also doing it with really improper lighting. Really, really annoying. Tell me how many gyms you guys have been to, how many boxing gyms, how many just different athletic gyms in general you've been to, and tell me how many of them looked like this. None of them. None of them have a big, bright, white, blue light. Okay, so cold lighting. Nobody has those lights. The sun doesn't look like that. And no gym is lit up that well in just one specific area, and then the rest of it feeds off of that one light. It's just all wrong.
This is CIA bullshit. Send in Delta.
We did. Rescue mission 3 days ago. No survivors. So this CIA bullshit is the only hope these girls have. See you next week. We're going in as an international relief organization. It has to be 60% women to be believable.
There are a lot of good rangers. You'd be surprised how many are women.
International.
Some mercenaries from Kurdfakistan. I'm sure they're the best.
Stop, I can't, dude. I can't. The cringe is too much.
Why did she talk like that?
I don't know, dude. The fact that she has on her right arm, that's where your left is your deployment patch. Mm-hmm. So that's the unit that you've deployed with.
Okay.
Your right is your current unit. So your left is where your tabs go. So on my left would be my Special Forces tab. If you have a Ranger tab, it goes on your left. On her right, she has a Ranger tab and a third ID patch.
Okay.
So it's an infantry, and then on her right. So essentially she's saying that her unit is Ranger third ID. So she's trying to say that she's a Ranger.
Okay.
But that's not where that goes. That goes on your left. They have their scroll, and then they'll have their deployment patch over it. If they've deployed as in Ranger Regiment, they'll have the Ranger scroll, and then on top of that, they'll have their Ranger tab.
Okay.
On their right, they'll just have their Ranger scroll because that's their unit.
All right.
We would have our SF crest because that's our unit. So she's got third ID. So the uniform is just completely jacked. Her hair is not supposed to be down like that. It has to be tied up. So women have to have their hair in the military slicked back in a bun and then tied up in a bun.
Okay.
unless they have a shortcut like a guy.
So literally no attention to detail.
So no attention to detail. Everything's wrong. And then she says, this is CIA stuff. Send in Delta. What? What are you talking about? What does CIA have to do with Delta? Delta could do whatever they want. And then he says, we did, no survivors. So all Delta got killed, and now they're going to find all the CAG operators got killed. The real operators got killed. So they have to go find this woman crew because it has
Rangers?
to be of Ranger infantry, like randomness. Like, what? Come on, guys. Like, this doesn't make any sense. This is like Lifetime.
That's what I mean. If you look at it, it films more like either like a weird, I guess, like series of a show on some crappy channel,
Yeah.
or as like a Hallmark Lifetime movie.
It's like a Hallmark Turkish telenovela.
I don't mean to talk shit about her, but does she have like a weird speech thing? Like when
I don't know.
when she's talking, it's some of the words like are a little weird, and I don't know if it's just her and this is how she speaks, but
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
kind of odd to understand her.
My family watches because my in-laws are all Hispanic. So my father-in-law is Portuguese, my mother-in-law is Peruvian, my wife is Peruvian, and I was just at home for the holidays, and I think they burned out all the Peruvian telenovelas. So my father-in-law's favorite telenovelas now are Turkish. So it's Turkish telenovelas dubbed in Spanish or dubbed in Portuguese. So it's like the lips don't even match up, and then I can't understand the dubbed language on top of this, and it's even more drama than like a normal telenovela. And I feel like I'd rather watch that than this.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch a Turkish, Portuguese dubbed telenovela.
Well, at least we
than
wouldn't
Dirty
attempt to
Angels.
take that seriously.
Right.
We would just watch it and have fun with it.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be taken seriously, and it's so bad.
It's so gooberish, dude. This is the worst. I don't understand Hollywood. I don't get it. I'm just lost when I watch stuff like this. I'm lost.
It's like, make something else.
Yeah.
If you want to make something, if something has to be made, make something else if you're this bad at this.
Yeah, this is. But somebody paid money for this. Somebody paid a lot of money for this. It's not cheap to make a movie. Oh, I love it.
Got a technical back there?
They didn't use it. Oh, that seems hilarious. Oh, you picked up on that. I actually didn't pick up on that the first time when I watched it. But so she sends up the drone and she's watching it on thing. And instead of being like, hey, we got the way we would announce that, it's like, hey, 2 Vicks moving this way, looks like 10 to 15 packs, move in our direction, 2 clicks out.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you information, right?
Right.
So then you could take that and use that information and actually do something with it. This girl goes, Taliban! What, dude? Like, what?
And then everybody runs to the monitor.
Everybody has to run to the monitor. Why? Because she didn't tell them anything, and they have to go see what's going on, which is a giant waste of time. And so what do? They have the time because she screamed Taliban, so they have the time to prepare. So what do? They all get in a line and they stand there together.
Yeah.
Like, and then Abel brought it up. They have a technical, so they have big guns on the back of that truck that they can get up there and man. And what do? Don't use it at all. And she throws out 2 mines, like 5 feet from her. Instead of like going out to the road and putting them in the road where they're obviously going to have to drive through in a funnel, she puts them out in the wide open. So it's just like, oh, you're just going to, hopefully they
hope
drive
he
over
gets
these.
to it.
Like, I hope they get to this point. The whole thing is just nonsensical. It's just so ridiculous, dude. Like, what are you thinking? Why would you all, if you're all going to do that, and let's say she was like, hey, you got 2 packs coming our way, 15 Taliban, or 2 trucks, 15 packs coming our way, 2 minutes out, 1 minute out, 30 seconds out. All right, let's spread out. The first thing we're going to do is start spreading out and start getting fire on where they're going to come in. So we know where the vehicles have to come in. Let's get away from each other, because what if they hit us with mortar or indirect fire? What if they throw some grenades? What if they shoot an RPG at us?
Yeah.
We don't all want to die at the same time, but they just group up together. So one RPG, their whole team's dead.
Yeah.
That's why we don't group up when we fight. And if you have bigger guns, you start with the bigger guns.
Like that technical, just fucking sitting there.
Yeah, like you don't downgrade your weapon system. Like a 50 cal or a 240 will do a lot better against a vehicle, especially if there's any armor on it, than your freaking 5.56. And you probably can't shoot because look at your tactics. So you want bigger firepower.
The scene actually looks really good. I'm surprised that if it's the same person, it doesn't feel like it's the same person that's filming this than the same person that filmed all the daylight scenes, because the daylight scenes look like more of a Lifetime movie. This seems to be filmed a lot better. The lighting is a lot better. They got a lot more going on. It looks pretty good. So at least they had that. This was filmed much better in the dark than the original scenes, but no, some caveat.
The most famous person you have in this movie is Ruby Rose.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Yo, Ruby Rose though, you've done some legit stuff. So, she was their ringer, but unfortunately she couldn't save an entire movie.
Yeah.
Cuz I think Ruby Rose definitely brings something of value.
Yeah.
Like she's not without value for sure. She has a very pretty look to her. She's got a very cool features about her. I love her tattoos. I think they're awesome. She has acting ability because she's been in John Wick. You said she did.
She did. You have to understand they wrote her in very well in that. She didn't speak. I'm not saying she can't act. I'm just saying that they had her play a deaf character who used sign language, which made her more menacing, I think. It made her it just gave you this more sense of danger with her. But I've seen her in other acting roles, and we've seen her in a couple of different movies. I haven't necessarily been able to take her that seriously, at least in these action roles. She just doesn't say action star to me, but
I think she's got potential. I think if you go Ruby Rose with a really good acting coach and gave her the right role, she can nail it. I mean, think about John Wick. Keanu Reeves can't act his way out of a paper bag.
Fuck, no, he can't.
That is one of the worst actors on the planet. But somehow he made many great roles over the years, and John Wick is one of the best action movies we've ever had, and it's some of the worst acting ever. But it's some of the best action. So. No, there's hope for Ruby Rose, but the rest of these people got no luck.
Car approaching.
Tell me that doesn't look like somebody armed the PTA.
I know. The way they run out, it's like moms against something. You know what I mean?
like somebody armed the PTA and told them that they're about to take grilled cheese sandwiches out of the lunch menu, and they're just like, no, not today, not on our watch.
There is nothing intimidating about what just happened.
The least intimidating thing I've ever seen in my life.
And why do they keep insisting on forming a V shape?
She's like, car. And she runs with her gun like this. And they all come out and they're just like, eh. It's like Charlie's Angels. No.
Look at the one in the back. You're about to shoot your friend in the head before you can get a shot off on anybody else. Spread the fuck out.
Yeah. And then she's like, it's not Charlie's Angels. It's the Dirty Angels.
She says that? Did she say that?
No. They should though. It's hilarious, dude.
Oh my goodness.
This is like Moms Against America, man. This is all right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed that episode. Please like and subscribe. We paid actual money for this movie. And the only thing we get back.
We just need our $6 back.
Yeah, dude. I just want my $6 back, please. And I can get that in 300 likes. I'll take 300 likes. I'll take 300 likes for my $6. Because I really want that back, because this was terrible. And none of you guys have to buy it now because we did it for you. We'll see you guys later. Peace.